our 7-day challenge. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Jen, and today's practice is going to focus all on that middle spine. So our thoracic spine, a lot of gentle twisting that we'll be doing. So with that, we got the playlist link below, so if you want to play some music, go ahead and hit play on our playlist. We'll have our block close by just in case we need it. And we're going to start in a seated position. So if you want to slip that block or pillow underneath the hips, you can take that option and we will get started. So we'll close the eyes, finding that nice easy seat. You don't have to always do a full crisscross, just finding a comfortable stance there. Then rocking those hips forward, so we start to tip the pelvis forward, engage across the abdominals, giving our low back, mid back some support. And then noticing that tailbone all the way through the crown of the head, drawing a line for really nice upright posture. And we'll close the eyes if they're not already, start to focus in on the breathing. So taking that deep inhale through the nose. Maybe sighing it out for the first couple. Allowing our body to settle into this practice, to this moment, inhaling in. And exhale. And finding that in and out breath through the nose. Doing our daily mental, physical check-in, seeing how the body feels, seeing if there's any pain points, any obvious stiff spots, just taking inventory. And then seeing how you feel emotionally, checking in with that, checking in with the state of the mind. Allowing whatever is present to be present. Let's do one more breath. We'll start to move. So sliding the hands off the legs. Eyes can stay closed for this first little opening. We're just going to bring those shoulders up by the ears and then roll them down and back. So finding those backwards shoulder rolls, just squeezing and opening up. Opening up the chest, so always squeeze those shoulder blades. Let's do one more. And then start to open the eyes. We're going to take those arms out to the side and right away just stretching across the chest, maybe even tipping those fingers back. That can add some intensity through the forearm. And then we'll exhale, give ourselves that little hug, just rock side to side. Noticing which arm you have on top. Inhale to open back up. And exhale to switch the arm on top. Give yourself that little hug. And maybe a little side to side lean. Inhale to open back up. And then with the arms out to a T, we're just going to work on flipping the palms up and then flipping them down. So maybe even think thumb up, thumb down. So as we open up, finding that point where the shoulder's getting a light stretch but no pain, and then dialing the thumb down until we get that little shoulder stretch. Do a few of these back and forth. Still sitting up tall through the spine. Let's do one more. Flipping up. And then down. Awesome, and bring those hands back to the knees. We'll do a few body circles, so start to just bring your chest forward, taking your body over to the left, rounding it back to the right, and then carving that chest forward. We're gonna do 3 each direction. To the left, rounding back, right, and then forward. This really allows us to start to open up the spine and to feel into what spots are tight for this practice. Then go ahead and take it the other way. Taking it to the right, back, left, and front, right, back, left, and front. I think we have one more. Back, left, and front. One final seated stretch. Inhale those arms up overhead. We'll interlace the fingers, flip the palms up to the ceiling, and then taking the arms in front of the body, only to about shoulder height. You're just gonna do a little bit of reaching side to side, like you're pushing the arms out. Almost like you're steering a steering wheel back and forth. You can really get some good spots with this one. And then let's inhale, bring those arms back up overhead. Releasing those fingers and then rolling out the wrists as we circle down. And we'll make our way into our tabletop. So just taking any props off to the side. Bringing those hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll take one cat-cow, so inhale, belly falls, open through the heart, looking up. And then exhale to round it out. Then coming back into neutral. We're gonna get really strong in that right hand, so all 5 fingers pressing. Then that left arm's going to start to reach out to the side. So we're not gonna go all the way down to thread the needle, but I just want you to weave that left arm in underneath that right arm. And then inhale to open back up. Exhale, weaving that left arm under the right. And then inhale to open back up. Then this third one will go all the way down. Weaving in behind the right, this time going all the way down onto the left shoulder, releasing the head down to the floor or a block, reaching that right arm overhead. So if you can shift a little more weight into that left hip, you'll really make the twist come from the middle of the spine. So taking that option. So 2 more breaths, inhaling in through the nose. Bringing that right hand close to the body, go ahead and use the strength of it to return back into tabletop. Shaking out anything you need to. We'll take the other side. So strong in that left hand, right arm comes to the side. Exhale to weave it behind the left, not going all the way down. Inhale to open back up. Exhale to weave. One more time. Inhale to open. And then exhale, this time all the way down, dropping onto that right arm, reaching that left arm overhead, shifting some weight into your right hip so you really are twisting from that middle spine. Taking a few breaths here. Bringing that left arm close by. using it to press and make your way back up to tabletop. So from here, we're just gonna drop onto our forearms. So we're going to take a cat-cow, but making it a little bit smaller of a range. That's gonna make you have to work the shoulders and the upper back a little more. We're just gonna let kind of the chest fall forward, maybe taking your gaze just to the top of the mat. And then exhale to press through the forearms and really feel like you're rounding out the back. Might be able to get a little stretch across the shoulder blades. Take a few of those. So inhale, sinks that heart forward. Open across the collarbones. Don't take your gaze all the way up. You don't want to crank too much on the neck. And then exhale to round it out. One more time. Inhale to sink it down. And then exhale to round it back. Then we'll take those hands a little bit more forward, finding full puppy pose. So keep the hips over the knees, just let the heart melt forward. If you need to slip a pillow underneath the head, you can. And if it's hurting the shoulders, just bend the elbows back a little bit. Last breath. Then just start to press back up, make your way back into tabletop, and we'll take our first down dog, tucking the toes, sending those hips up and back. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart. And then start to pedal it out. You can bend one knee back and forth. Rock the hips side to side. Make sure we're pressing through all 10 fingers. We can shake our head out, yes and no. Then taking the eyes forward, start to walk the feet up to meet the hands. Taking our first forward fold, you know the drill, feet hip distance apart, bend the knees a little bit, just to allow the back to relax. You can grab opposite elbows, hang down, or find a little sway side to side. Release those forearms and very slowly start to make your way up into standing. Rolling those shoulders back once you make it to the top. Inhale to lift those arms up overhead, and then exhale to pull the hands into the heart. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, pull the hands into the heart. One more time, inhale, arms up overhead, and then pulling the hands into the heart. Good, we'll take those arms back up overhead. This time, bend those elbows, so we're gonna make that cactus field goal shape. And then I really want you to tighten and engage your belly. From here, we're just going to take a little twist to the left, just to where we start to feel those obliques turn on. So a little twist of the tummy. And then passing into center, take it to the right. Pass it into center and take it to the left. It can be very little here. Take it to center, over to the right. So notice my hips are fighting to stay forward. Let's do it one more time. Just twisting from the upper body. And then to center, to the right. Good. Inhale, bring the arms all the way straight. Bend the knees slightly. Exhale to fold down. We'll do one halfway lift, so sliding the hands up the legs, flattening the back, pull those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, release. From here, we're finding our high lunge. Right foot steps back, toes stay down. Option to stay low and bring your right hand under a block or pillow or any added support. And then we'll just hang out here a moment. If you want to find a little rock side to side, you can, or front to back. Just kind of working into it. And then we're going to find our first twist. So we're going to keep that right arm down, start to twist the torso, and then reaching that left arm overhead. So you really want to feel like you're squeezing the thighs, twisting from the belly, and then your gaze can stay forward if that helps with balance. Otherwise, you can bring it up to that top arm, looking at the left hand. Let's hold it one more breath, keeping that bend in the knee. And slowly bringing that left hand back forward. Step that right foot to meet the left, taking that forward fold. And then we'll take that other side, left foot steps back. Bringing any support under the left hand as needed. Maybe finding a little bit of comfort in this pose, wiggling it out a bit. And once you're ready, we'll start to twist the torso to the right, bringing that right arm up, keeping that back leg lifted, really squeezing the thighs together. That helps you to twist a little higher up the spine. Last breath here. And then bringing that right hand down. Pushing any block out of the way, step the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Then inhale to rise and lift. Woo. Bringing the hands in together at the heart. And then stepping that left foot back, turn towards that left side of your mat. So we're bringing the feet out to a comfortable width, so definitely wider than hip distance. Bringing the hands on the hips, we're taking that wide forward fold. Start to let the chest fall forward. So if we're right here, we're already feeling a stretch. You want to tighten those thighs. And then find that sweet spot. If you want to lower down to the ground, you can slip a block right underneath your gaze at any height for more support, or just keep the hands on the hips. Using the breath to assist you, so inhale, maybe lift up slightly, and then exhale, just seeing if you can release a little bit more. We're gonna play with a twist, so if you have that blocker pillow, you can bring it to its highest height if needed. Otherwise, that right hand's going to come right directly under the gaze. The left arm's gonna come out to the side, then you're gonna start to twist from your torso. Once again, gaze can stay forward if that's a little too much rotation for the neck. Make sure the hips are staying even, or at least attempting to. So we're really twisting from higher up the spine. And then very slowly, left arm starts to return. Bring the left hand right under the gaze. Right arm comes to the side first, and then we find that remainder of the twist from the spine. So we're not cranking that arm way back. The arm is staying in line with the body. Taking your gaze to where it's comfortable. And then slowly unwinding out. Bring both hands back to the hips, and then slowly rise and lift it up. Good. We'll pivot to the very front of our mat, so just taking your time and then stepping it up. Finding our mountain pose Tadasana for a moment, taking a few deeper breaths. And remember, we're in mountain. Again, engaging through the thighs. You don't want to just be standing. You want it to have some strength behind it. And then starting to bring those hands in front of the body to shoulder height. We'll start to sit the hips back, finding a chair pose. So it doesn't matter how low you go, just finding a little bit of work for those thighs, scooping in the belly. Then we'll pull the hands into the heart, and just like yesterday, taking a little twist to the left, and then sweeping the chest through center, a little twist to the right. Fighting to keep those hips straight past the center. We'll do one more to each, turning to the left. Sweeping to center, turning to the right. Sweeping into center, go ahead and release the full body forward, straightening out the legs, finding our forward fold. And right foot's gonna step back. This time we're lowering down onto the right knee. Bringing the hands to either support of the front knee. You can keep them on your hips if that makes it easier. You can keep a block for some support. Slipping any pillow underneath the knee. I'm gonna go ahead and take that option today. And then bringing the arms up overhead for full version of the pose. Scooping in the belly, lifting up and out of the back. And then we're gonna play with one twisting option here. So right arm comes across to land on the outside of the left knee. You wanna press your knee and hand together for extra stability as you start to reach that left arm back behind you, like you're reaching towards the back of the mat. And then starting to unwind to the front, bringing the hands down to frame the foot, step and lift that back knee, step the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. From here, left foot steps back, taking that same thing other side, drop that left knee, slip any pillow or blanket underneath. Taking that support of the front leg, if you want to hang out right here, you can put a block underneath that left arm or reach the arms all the way overhead. Scooping in the belly, lifting up and out of the low back. Then playing with our twist. Left arm reaches across to the outer right knee. Press the handed knee into one another for stability. Right arm reaches back. And slowly unwinding out of it. Bring the hands to frame the foot. Lifting that left knee. And then stepping the left foot to meet the right. Exhale, forward fold. And then taking it up into standing. Sweeping the hands at the side, rise and lift it up. And pulling the hands into the heart. Now we're gonna play with one more balanced standing posture and we'll work our way down. So there's gonna be some options for this. If you know you have trouble standing on one foot, I recommend taking that block or pillow and just putting it in front of you. We'll start with the right foot being our strong stance leg, so spreading out all 5 toes. And then the left foot can either come to like gently rest on that block or pillow, or maybe you can fully lift it up. So you want to find that point of focus. And if you're here doing pretty well, want to add one more challenge. We're going to take that same twist shape. So the right hand is going to come to the outside of the left leg. Left arm's going to reach back. If you fall out of it, it's okay. It's all about playing with the body. A little bit of challenge is what we're looking for. And very slowly unwinding. And then releasing that left foot down. Shake out your right leg. And we'll take that same thing on the other side. So getting strong in that left foot. Taking a deep breath, finding that point of focus. Then right foot's gonna come to either gently land on that block or pillow, or you can work on trying to lift it in front of the body. Then playing with our twist, that left hand reaches to the outside of the right. Right arm reaches back. Not getting frustrated as we fall out. It's okay. Practice, practice. And very slowly unwinding out. Bring that right foot down with control, then trying to shake that left leg out. Moving any props to the side. And we will make our way down. So inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale to melt it forward. Inhale to our halfway lift. Squeeze those shoulder blades one more time, fighting gravity. Exhale, coming down. Plant the hands enough that you can just step it back and drop the knees, coming into a seated position so we can set up for a lay down pose. So we're gonna take fish pose. So I'm gonna show you some options for this. So I like to turn my block on its medium height and place it right underneath my shoulder blades. So that really allows for a back bend to come through the middle spine. And then I just slip up another block or a pillow underneath my head. Now, if that's a little bit much and your spine can't open up to where you can even get your head down onto that, you can switch and put maybe a little pillow across the middle of your spine. Some people like a vertical pillow, so if vertical feels better, you can take that option as well. The goal is to really press on that mid-back so we really open through the chest. So taking whatever option works, you don't want the block too far down, so right underneath the shoulder blades, block or pillow. Finding the sweet spot, maybe adding a couple pillows. Then letting the arms fall open. Once you find the sweet spot, I like to keep my knees bent. Always an option to take them straight if that feels better. And then once you find this nice heart opening, supported fish pose, you can close the eyes. This is one of my favorite postures because we spend so much time in a rounded forward position. This can really allow for stretching of the throat space, the front of the chest. So you can even notice it in your breathing. So really expanding the chest with the breath. Let's take one more. Then bring those forearms close by so you can lift yourself up just enough to take those props off to the side. And then you can make your way back onto the back. Pausing a moment for the spine to neutralize. It's considered a back bend pose, so always good to take a neutral one right after, just for several moments. And starting to bring those arms overhead to either a cactus shape. Maybe you find the letter T. Bring the feet hip distance apart, and we'll let the knees just fall to the left. Take our gaze over our right shoulder. Coming into a supine twist. If you want to cross that left leg over the right, you can make the stretch a little deeper. And close the eyes, settle the breath. Uncross the legs. Sweep the knees to center, let them keep on going to the right as you just switch your gaze over to the left. Eyes can still be closed. And maybe crossing that right leg on top of the left. If you want to take that option. And uncrossing the legs, coming into center. Let's do one final squeeze, just bending the knees up towards the chest, maybe rocking a bit side to side. And then taking any final posture you want to take before we take our final meditation together. Once you're ready, start to extend those legs out long, taking up as much space as you need. Doing any wiggles to make yourself just a little bit more comfortable so you can try to find some stillness in the body. Maybe do that one final tightening up of every muscle you can. And then exhale, just releasing fully to your supportive surface below. Remembering at this point, we're going to just observe the natural breath, softening any muscle tension in the face. So checking out the forehead, the jaw, the tongue. Doing one final body scan, and then we'll take several moments just trying to stay in the present moment, letting our mind and body rest. can stay here a little longer if you need to. If you're ready, start to deepen your breathing. Wiggling out the toes and the fingers. Gently bending one knee at a time. Make your way onto whichever side is most comfortable. Keeping eyes closed. And just doing a final check-in with the body, the mind. Noting any differences now compared to the beginning of class. And then making your way up into seated. Bringing the hands in together over the heart. Ending on a note of gratitude for yourself for showing up to work on mind, body, and spirit. And picking one other thing in life to be so grateful for. And with that, we'll take our final breath together, inhaling through the nose and then sighing it out nice and loud. So inhale in. Exhale. I thank you for joining me in this practice. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow for day 6. Please leave me any comments, any questions below, and I really, really appreciate you joining me.